live on both.
Hey, good morning. Actually, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Purely Boston. No, I haven't had any wine yet, but so good afternoon. I am here at Talulla Restaurant in Cambridge, and I'm here with my buddy Connor Dennehy.
That's right.
And Talulla Restaurant has been nominated in the 2019 Best of Purely Boston Awards for the best tasting menu. They have some delicious food that we're going to talk about here. We're going to have some fun, so thanks for having me, man.
Of course, thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you. So to kick things off, let's tell everyone from Purely Boston, and how the restaurant, how Talulla was first started.
Yeah, so the restaurant has been around less than a year. We opened April last year. I actually used to be the chef in the restaurant that was in the space before, called TW Food.
Oh, okay, cool.
And so my wife was the wine director here. I was the chef, not at the same time. We didn't work here at the same time, but we just happened to both work in the space. The previous owners were getting ready to sell this place, and they approached us about it. And we figured out a way to make it happen. And so now I finally own my own restaurant. The name Talulla, it's actually my 2-year-old daughter.
Oh, nice.
So she...
Pretty name.
Thank you.
Very
Thank
pretty.
you. Yeah, I think so too. So we wanted something that was important to us, that was kind of unusual, but that really had some meaning. We didn't want it to just be like the address, or we didn't want it to be like my name or my wife's name or something like that. And so we chose Talulla, and here we are.
Yeah. I just think of Hawaii whenever I hear that name. I don't know, like the beautiful.
Awesome. We'll
beautiful flowers in Hawaii.
Yeah.
We could use some of that weather too.
Almost
there. Second day of spring.
It'll never be quite like Hawaii.
So let's go back to well, first off, congrats for opening up. Is this your first venture for a restaurant?
Yeah.
That's
we
awesome.
We had a little catering and hospitality thing before, but this is the first restaurant opportunity. Cool. My wife and I have both worked in restaurants for years and years, but this is our first restaurant.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So what do you think really inspired you this year, or was it 2018 you opened it?
Yeah.
So what do you think really inspired you and your wife in 2018 to kind of take the leap and start your own restaurant?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it kind of just fell into our laps. So we were lucky to know the previous owners. They were trying to find somebody that would fit well in the space, that they kind of knew the upsides to it. This space it's a great opportunity to be here, but it's definitely a little niche.
Yeah.
It's like a neighborhood place, kind of in the middle of nowhere in Cambridge. And so it kind of just fell into our laps, and we were super lucky, and we felt like the time is now. As soon as we figured out that we could raise enough money to do it, we were like, all right, let's go for it. Sick of working for other people, putting in the same amount of hours for somebody else. Might as well do it for ourselves.
Cool. And how many years did you and your wife go to culinary art school?
I did.
You did.
My wife did not. She went to Emerson, actually.
Okay.
And she went for film and media, visual media arts, I think is what.
Well, food is an art too.
Yeah.
Food is an art too.
And so I went to culinary school. I went to the Culinary Institute of America in upstate New York.
Oh, wow.
I graduated in 2005.
Damn, that's awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome. So what do you think? There's tons and tons of restaurants in the Boston area.
Yeah.
And in Cambridge too. So what do you think really sets you guys apart from all the other restaurants in the area?
Yeah. I think that's something that we're still trying to identify 100%, because everybody has the same ingredients to work with. I think that as a restaurant, this is all about our family. I'm here every day. My wife is here every day. The ingredients we get are super high quality. Everything is seasonal. Everything is local, and there's tons of care and attention put into everything.
Yeah.
And so we really feel like what sets us apart is just the hospitality here. We think we have great food. We think we have great service, but we want you to feel comfortable when you come here. We want it to feel like you're at home, even though it's refined. There's white tablecloths and it's upscale. We don't want it to feel stuffy. We want it to feel like someplace you could sit for hours and have a nice glass of wine.
No, it's it's super clean. It's really relaxed. I love the colors. It's just some place you can just kind of unwind. A nice bottle of wine and have a nice cheese plate. To start off the night or something like that.
Yeah, we have 12 tables, and It allows us to control everything, but also to be present. You know, we get to talk to guests. I run food. You know,
Yeah.
I cook in the kitchen. It's not like it's not like there's somebody here that's not us.
Yeah.
So.
And that's cool. You know, as restaurant groups get involved and restaurants get bigger and they start expanding into different locations in the New England or Boston area. You know, sometimes you don't see the owner. You always bounce around from location to location, and sometimes the quality sometimes kind of follows the owner.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's an interesting thing, right? Because it's kind of like, I think of it like being in a band, right? You know, you want to get famous enough that you're making money, but as soon as you start making money, people say you sold out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
and so
true.
like we want to keep it where we're making enough money to live.
Yeah.
But we're still doing our own thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like maybe down the road there might be a second restaurant, but like not anytime soon.
Yeah.
And then we'll have to figure that out when that comes up.
Cool. Cool. Yeah. You guys are still in the band, still maybe doing your practice sessions in the garage, like figuring stuff out. But I appreciate that from an entrepreneur to another entrepreneur.
Exactly.
Definitely, congrats on your venture.
Thank you.
So far, so good. I'll definitely have to come back here,
Love to have you guys.
for a little date night or something.
Absolutely.
So let's talk food. What's like the most popular dish on your menu? I know one thing I want to touch upon for everyone watching, that you guys do have the 3-course prefix option.
Yes.
And that's for $58. I think that's a phenomenal deal for the food that I've been seeing coming in and out of the kitchen. But other than that, let's talk about some of the real popular options that really drives people in here.
Yeah. So thank you. Yeah, the prefix. As far as like how people dine here, I would say that the majority of people do the prefix menu.
Okay.
Right. So
it's a very popular.
I think it's like you hit the nail on the head. It's a great value for the quality that we're giving, but we get to purchase things in such small quantities that we're able to control it and not have to gouge for it.
Yeah.
Right? So that's how most people dine. As far as what the most popular things on the menu are. It varies day to day. We reprint menus every day. The menu's constantly changing. So for instance, right now, like this dish that's on the table, that's our foie gras preparation. Whenever we have foie gras on the menu.
What is it?
This is foie gras. So this is foie gras torchon.
Okay.
So it's like the fat and liver of a duck that we cure.
Really?
Rolled it into a torchon.
That right
this
there?
Guy here, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then this is fermented rhubarb jam, golden raisin puree, and this is a little raisin bun, a little hibiscus powder on the plate. So anytime we have a preparation of foie gras, that usually sells really well. Does it sell the best out of all items? I don't know. Probably not. When it's like 40 degrees out, people are going to eat soup. Yeah. So it's tricky, but I would say objectively, I think we're known really for having like really good foie gras. We put a lot of care into it. We have like a really straightforward, simple way that really highlights the flavor, and people notice that. So.
And you guys, so would this be entree, or would this be served
this is a starter?
A starter, okay. And then you would pair it with a nice wine that we have here.
Yeah. So this is sauternes. Sauternes, kind of like a classic pairing for foie gras.
Okay.
It's definitely sweet, and typically you wouldn't start with a sweet wine.
This is very sweet wine.
Yeah. So Haut Charme, this one here is kind of like a secret vineyard, right? So there's a very, very nice sauterne that comes from France. The grapes have to meet a classification to be classified as a certain thing.
Okay.
When it doesn't meet that classification, it's kind of presumed that they make Haut Charme, and so it's kind of like Voldemort, like that will remain nameless.
Damn, I definitely want you next time I go to the wine store.
Yeah.
So I'm not walking up and down the aisle like pretending like I know what I'm doing, and I'm just like, yo, where's my buddy Connor, dude?
My wife is the wizard.
Really? She's good?
Because she tells me.
All right.
Well, so that's what we would pair with this. But again, there's tons of flexibility too. It depends how people are getting 3 courses. It's all about the progression. So they might not start with that because there might be a better progression that fits the whole meal.
Okay.
But generally, sauterne is a pretty classic pairing with foie gras.
Okay. So maybe kind of got to think backwards of what you want to eat for your entree. Work your way back for the app, and then
and then this
see where the night goes with dessert.
Exactly, and this particular preparation too, is kind of all about sweet and salty, and it's not always like that. Sometimes it's more sweet, sometimes it's more sour. It really depends on the foie gras preparation, or really the dish as it's fermented rhubarb is kind of salty, kind of like a half fermented pickle, and then the rhubarb jam is sweet, the puree is sweet, and then the little bun is salty.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of like
That's
that's
cool.
what we're going for with that.
Cool. A nice sweet salty balance.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then so what other things we got here? I mean, we got the we got the risotto, we got the fettuccine with baby octopus and squid.
I would
That's
definitely say
very interesting.
I would definitely say that anytime we have pastas on the menu, they sell really well.
Yep.
We do a great job with pastas. A lot of care goes into them. We make everything by hand. We don't have an extruder. There isn't somebody that comes in and does the prep.
We make all the pasta by hand too. Oh wow.
Yeah, we make everything here: breads, pastas.
Is the duck? What about the duck? Is that a big?
Duck is great. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of like on weekends that sells really well. I'd say the neighborhood people that they come in, Wednesday, Thursday, they might do fish, they might do pasta. Every once in a while you might get a duck, but that's kind of more for people that live out in the neighborhood.
And does the what are the options for the 3-course?
You can get anything on the menu.
Oh, okay, so anything on the menu. Oh, I got you.
Exactly.
So just boom.
Right, and the foie gras has
so you can mix and
bit of
match.
Right, exactly.
That's
well,
cool.
so generally it would be one starter, one main, and one dessert.
Yeah.
But you can do any combination.
Any combination of starter and
right. If you add the foie gras, there's a little bit of an upcharge just because foie gras is so expensive.
Okay.
But anything else falls into the same category.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm making me hungry. So here's a fun little question I like to ask all the 2019 nominees and this year's contest. So if you could share a meal with somebody famous from the Boston area, who would it be and why?
Oh, man, that's a tough one. Living or dead?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Doesn't matter.
And at the level of fame, mildly famous?
Totally up to you.
Famous? Okay. So if I was going to pick somebody dead, it would probably be Kurt Vonnegut, the author, who's from Massachusetts.
Oh, okay.
I just have read everything that he's ever written and has just like helped me guide through my adolescence and do all that stuff.
Interesting.
He's been dead for a few years.
Yeah.
So if it was somebody living that was mildly famous, definitely my friend Doug Williams, who's the chef owner of Mita in the South End.
Oh, okay, cool.
I just love him, mostly just because he and I share a philosophy about food. He's just a super nice guy, a family guy, which I feel like we have a lot in common.
Cool.
Somebody I already know, but I wouldn't trade that for anybody.
That's awesome.
I would take that over Mark Wahlberg.
Cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Which was almost my answer.
Hopefully Mark's. I think we've gotten Mark before, so it's like I like unique and
Tom Brady.
Yeah, we've gotten that lately.
He's from California though. Doesn't matter.
No, I know. We've gotten Tom Brady at least a half a dozen times.
I'm a huge football fan.
So okay, awesome. So how any big plans for Talulla in 2019?
Yeah, we have some cool stuff that we're working on. So the first thing, actually, one of the items on the plate is fermented rhubarb. So we're starting our own kind of fermentation program here at the restaurant.
Oh, really? Wow.
It's small right now. It's at the fledgling stages of that. But that's something we want to work at and learn more and more about as the year progresses. Get these interesting flavor characteristics and textures out of ingredients that you wouldn't normally get, and also help build depth of flavor. So that's one thing. We also have a couple winemaker series kind of working this year. So every Tuesday we do our wine dinners, which is basically 4 courses of food paired with 4 wines that come from either a specific region, specific grape, specific producer, or a style of wine, something like that. But in addition to that, we're adding on these winemaker series. They're a little bit more limited. So those are a specific vineyard and specific production of wine where the winemaker actually comes and talks to the guests. And so we pair a menu of food around that with those specific wines.
So the winemaker actually comes in on Tuesday?
Well, this one would it'll be on Thursday.
Oh,
so
Thursday,
it's a separate thing. Actually, we have one coming up next week.
Okay.
So we have another one planned in April. So this first one is Chateau Piberdon, which is really cool. They make Bandol wines. So we're really excited about that.
That's awesome.
We're excited to have winemakers come in here that share a similar philosophy with
cool.
wine as we do with food. We're also trying to do some other cool stuff. We had talked about potentially doing guest chef series on a slower night of the week where we know another restaurant wouldn't necessarily miss their chef, and that we're slower to try to do some collaborative dinners. That again is fledgling stages of that. I think all we have now is a list of names, but we haven't actually reached out to anybody. But we've got tons of friends that are in the industry that are chefs and restaurateurs that we would love to share our small kitchen with and do a fun dinner, kind of try to bring people in on a slow night and cross-market them and market us. So
Cool.
Other than that, we're just plugging away. This will be, year 2 starts in April, and we're just trying to get things running a little smoother, be a little bit more organized, kind of like settle in a little bit. The first year is such a whirlwind that you're just like treading water.
Yeah.
Now we want to like take advantage of everything we learned in the first year and just try to keep pushing and pushing.
Yeah. You got you're exiting the garage into your own little venue for band practice, right?
Exactly. Yeah, we're starting to feel more like ourselves.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, I give you all the congrats for opening your own venture and for in your first year being nominated in the contest. So you got to be doing something really great over here.
Who else is nominated? Are you allowed to tell me?
Maybe off camera.
Okay.
Maybe off camera.
Right.
So that's it for today's interview, spotlight interview. I'm here at Talulla in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Make sure you guys keep heading to the official awards website that's located at bestofpurelyboston.com. Keep the nomination votes rolling in for the guys like here, for Connor and Talulla, and keep them nominating for the best tasting menu. And definitely come on down. When you guys are, what are you guys' hours?
Tuesday through Saturday.
Okay.
5:30 to 10.
Okay, Tuesday, Saturday, 5:30 to 10.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Sunday brunch, we are open from 10 to 2:30, and then we open again Sunday evening at 5:30. We do 5:30 to 9.
Okay, cool. So for a really relaxed, kind of a little upscale environment here in Cambridge. It's really quaint. Perfect for a great night, a date night. Amazing food, paired with amazing wine, and great expertise from my man over here. Come on down to Talulla and make sure you tell him that Purely Boston sent you. So that's it, and everyone have a great Thursday. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.